Tuesday. I always screw that up. I'm sorry. The altitude gets me every time. It's Tuesday at 4 o'clock. So welcome back to the iciest segment in all of sports television. 27 quarterbacks, ascending, sliding, occasionally just camping in one spot. One of those makeshift heaters. It's cold. The bad halves and the bad calves all are scratching, climbing for their chance to reach the summit. The summit that is known around sports media and in quarterback rooms across the league as Mahomes Mountain.
Indeed it is. There is only room on the mountain for 28 quarterbacks. There's not even always 28, as Wilds mentioned. Sometimes 27, sometimes only 26. Thus, we must first show you who is not on the mountain. Off the mountain, still off. Desmond Ridder, Bryce Young, McCorkle Jones, Jimmy and Kenny Pickett have fallen off the mountain. Both got, a little dinged up trying to climb the first summit, didn't get there. They are off the mountain. So, to row 7, the bottom of the mountain. Welcome to the mountain, Zach Wilson. For the first time ever. For a long time, we thought he was never going to climb. Ryan Tannehill, Justin Fields, welcome back up the mountain. Jordan Love slid down a bit, and Derek Carr is on washed watch. We do wonder if Derek Carr is going to slide off the mountain, never be seen again. Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones is staying on the mountain. Daniel Jones almost slid off, but one of his offensive linemen bumped him back up the mountain somehow. It was a bit weird thing. All right, row 6. All right, I hate having Joe Burrow this low.
Holy cow.
I blame Zach Taylor. I do not blame Joe Burrow for this, but at this point, if they're going to keep putting him out there and keep saying his calf is fine, then we're just going to have to judge him on his numbers, and his numbers say he's been the worst quarterback in the league thus far this year. Kirk Cousins, some of his numbers say he's great. Then you look at the interception column and where those interceptions took place, and you're like, we didn't want to really know your 40 time, Kirk, because you were chasing down another guy who's returning a pick for a touchdown. Russ, Sam Howell, nice second halves to bump themselves up the mountain. Deshaun and Dobbs stay where they are. Deshaun maybe could have dropped because he asked out of this game after being cleared. More on that in a bit. Row 5. Despite the win, Goff drops a bit. Baker back where he deserves, an above-average quarterback. C.J. Stroud and Brock Purdy maintain for very different reasons. Brock Purdy, a nearly perfect performance with not a single play that even made you even open your eyes. C.J. Stroud, on the other hand, completed only half his passes. But half of those that he completed, you said, oh my God, the Texans got a quarterback. They stay where they are, as does Matt Stafford. Now to the top 10. Justin Herbert drops. This is not a quarterback wins mountain, and I know they did get the win. But with 2 minutes left in that football game, he had 116 yards passing and one very bad pick. The Prince and Geno and Jalen, they all won. They all played fine. Jalen actually played quite well. They stay where they are. Now to the cream of the crop. Row 3. Tua slides down the mountain just a touch. Just a touch down the mountain. Finally, a team got pressure on him, and he looked like a beatable player as opposed to a perfect player. Lamar, on the other hand, played, I thought, as fine of a game as I've seen him play. Both ways, if you will. Running the ball and throwing the ball. And the pass to Mark Andrews in the end zone is one of the best throws I've ever seen him play. Dak Prescott stays where he is. Another workmanlike, very solid performance, but not overwhelming. And now, if we may, I promised there would be a change at the top. Row 2 guys.
Wow.
Patrick Mahomes has slid down the mountain just a bit.
Wow.
Bad performance. 2 interceptions. Listen, they do say practice makes perfect, and we do not doubt that Patrick will get back up the mountain. But the mountain is fair, and no one's place is guaranteed. Josh Allen, on the other hand, had a brilliant, literally perfect week 4 after a tough week 3. So you may be wondering, who does that leave atop the mountain? Top Mahomes Mountain. And the answer is, reveal it please, vacant. There's nobody there. So there's just nobody at the top of the mountain. But what? Greg's rolling his eyes.
Greg,
what's the problem? Greg, what? I don't understand.
Let him have it.
What's ridiculous? Hold on. I think
better.
It's guys. You guys demanded that Patrick Mahomes be held accountable like everyone else. Hold on. I'm hearing some music. Oh, there's someone climbing. There's someone climbing.
Oh.
Are they climbing for that top spot? They can't be. Wait. Is there someone new atop Mahomes Mountain? Caleb Williams atop Mahomes Mountain. They said it was impossible. He had been staying on the edge for so long. and that spot was vacant, and we thought Josh Allen was going to take it. But Caleb Williams to the top of Mahomes Mountain. There it is. Mahomes Mountain, week 5.
Stunned.
Mahomes Mountain, week 5. Greg Jennings, your thoughts?
I'm stunned.
What are you stunned, Greg?
I am so utterly disappointed in you, Nick.
Why?
I thought for once you were going to actually give us something that was real.
You guys demanded I hold Mahomes accountable, even though the mountain's named after him. I hold him accountable, and it's still not good enough for you guys.
No.
What do you want?
No,
what more do you want?
It's not good enough because when we watch other quarterbacks have moments, they drop. And as far as I'm concerned, for the month of September and the first day of the October month, Josh Allen has been on his own. Allen Alps.
Allen Alps.
Yeah,
Oh,
Allen
I like
Alps.
it. I like
yes,
it,
because
Greg.
forget this mountain. Allen, you've been in a league of your own. And when we compare it to the Mahomes Mountain, the person who holds this top tier slot every single week and just happens to slide down and leaves a vacancy. Look, you've been better than him. All season long, you've been better than Patrick Mahomes. If we look at these numbers, week 1, ouch. And I know we're not doing it as far as a totality of the season, but this is what I want to do right now. Mahomes was terrible week 1, and so was Josh Allen.
He was terrible? You thought Mahomes was terrible in week 1 against
Josh
Ryan?
was
That's what you
worse
thought because you were
in
here.
week
You didn't say he was terrible.
Yeah, he was bad.
Oh,
I mean,
he was bad.
give your receivers catchable balls.
Okay.
Look, week 2. Clearly, Josh Allen is better than Mahomes once again. He played the prince that was promised. And so, because he played the prince that was promised, Mahomes, you kept him up at the top of the mountain.
What do you mean?
And then week 3.
Week 3, who was better? I'm very curious. Week 3.
Look at who he played.
Well,
the Chicago Bears.
who did
Russell
Josh
Wilson
play? 'Cause he
looks
didn't play
great.
that well.
Jordan Love looks great. Everybody looks great against the Chicago Bears. So I'm knocking him
You
for
should have left
having
that
his
graphic
only
out,
season. No,
Greg.
I wanted it to be there because this is why he was great. Because he played the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Josh Allen played a Commanders team, still was great. Then last week happened. Josh Allen plays the best team in the AFC. 3-0. Coming off a 70-point game. We haven't seen that in the 21st century, but the Dolphins did it. He outperformed Tua, who was above him, atop the mountain. And then Patrick Mahomes. What did he do? He only had the worst game that we've seen him have in years, and he's still in front of Josh Allen, who's had, and you said this, you recognize it, you even put the banner up yesterday. The September, whatever it was called, September champs.
Back to back. Greg, so listen, you were doing so well. You were making a compelling case, and then you made a bit of a fatal error because you just said something there that I found very interesting. You called Mahomes' game on Sunday maybe the worst game he's ever played. Was it worse than the game Josh Allen played against the Jets a month ago? No. So maybe the worst game Patrick Mahomes has ever played, not as bad as a game played against the same opponent by the guy you're anointing to his own new mountain range, the Allen Alps, which I find quite curious. But it's fine. Listen, it will never be good enough. I dropped Mahomes down.
We've seen 2 games with Mahomes. They both have 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
When we look at them
9
week
touchdowns,
1,
4 interceptions.
it was week 1. I gave you that. I said, okay, you can drop, but Mahomes didn't drop. Allen dropped 3 slots week 1.
Mahomes just dropped.
No. He didn't drop. He slid.
He's slow.
He slid. And on the course of him sliding, he pushed everybody else down 1-2.
No.
How is that possible?
No, Allen stayed where he was. Okay, listen, that's fine. I'm never going to make Greg happy. He's always been a Josh Allen guy, dating back to last year, except when he abandoned him and said clearly Patrick Mahomes is better. Well, he'll come around again. Go ahead, Greg.
I was with Greg
Brooks,
until he started showing those graphics, and then me like, it is closer than I thought.
Exactly. 9 touchdowns, 4 picks.
I wanted to give you a little credit for dropping Mahomes a little, but
I dropped him. You guys demanded I drop him. I dropped him.
Your Mahomes 2.0 up there? I thought 2.0.
Oh, I'm sorry. Caleb, 21 touchdowns, 1 pick.
But anyway, I'm not going to call it Purdy's peak.
Oh. Here we go.
But I got to talk about Brock Purdy. All right? Why is he so low?
Where do you want?
I look at the mountain. Here's how I look at Mahomes Mountain. It's a combination of how are you playing now with your stature in the league, right? Otherwise, Mahomes would not be number 1 or 2 or whatever because he hadn't played that well. And Joe Burrow would be like dead last or off the mountain if it was just what you've done for us lately. So it's kind of a combination. So I'm not saying move Purdy up too much, but he should definitely be on the next tier. Dak should be down. Put Hurts or Herbert up there instead of Dak, because both of them I think have been better. And Purdy should be ahead of Geno and the Prince. He has definitely played better than them. And Nick, you love the numbers. Here's some numbers.
Are great.
Look at his ranks. 3rd in completion percentage, 2nd in yards per pass, 2nd in TD interception ratio, 1st in passer rating. What more do you want him to do? He doesn't have to go out there and be Damian Lillard and give you 32 and 8 a night. Well, he needs to just go be John Stockton, dish the ball to the scores, just to, no turn it over, be plain, be basic, and you're punishing him because he's not throwing it behind the back, no looks, none of that stuff. So you're punishing him.
No, I'm not punishing him for that either. I'm just also not comparing him to one of, I don't know, the 35 greatest players of all time in a different sport. As I've used before, he is not John Stockton. He might be Mario Chalmers. Right place, right time, around.
No.
All of famers everywhere. And then it's like, hey, guys, what about those point guard wins we love so much?
What is there not to like other than where he was drafted?
I don't think he ever makes tough throws because he never has to. We'll see. Well, I know it frustrates you. And guys, here's the great thing about my Purdy opinion. We'll get to see it play out. Okay. They're not going to roll over everybody. We'll see in those spots if he comes
Has
through.
Has he ever lost?
What?
No, he's never lost, unless he's needed to go to the hospital afterwards.
Yeah.
All right, Wilds, go ahead.
I'm okay. This is a hot take. I'm okay with Kirk Cousins where he's at.
Okay.
But
okay.
Head-to-head with Mahomes, and we've seen how their graphics, we can show the statistics of these two guys.
I told you before the show you have to stop doing this.
What?
I literally said, can I give you a debating
are
tip?
way better.
Just
more.
Just pick a different quarterback.
But what do you want me to
Mahomes.
do? They're just the facts.
Pick any other quarterback in the league.
Kirk Cousins beats Mahomes head-to-head, can you promise me that Kirk Cousins will head back up the mountain? That's all I want to say.
Up where? Like,
I don't know,
a little
wherever
higher?
you belong if you outplay Patrick Mahomes.
Well, Zach Wilson just did this week.
Exactly.
And he's at the bottom of the mountain.
You know what's percolating? The fog that we had here? I miss Eric Bieniemy. It's just percolating across the whole mountaintop.
Wow.
People are Mahomes getting lost.
Listen.
What's going on?
Here is my only request.
What's going on?
Here's my only request, America. When the Chiefs beat the Vikings this week, whether it's by 1 or by 30, no one, and by no one I mean Wilds, does not get to say anything other than that was a great win against a team that I believe is going to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Not some degree of difficulty, not anything.
I believe both teams are going to the Super Bowl.
Exactly right. There you go.
Coming up next, we have a moment for Greg. It's going to be a little rough. I had it with Mac Jones, but we're going to get through it. It's only like a 7-minute segment.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.